What's going on YouTube? 𝒃𝒆𝒔𝒕 here, and welcome back to Greenland. So in the last episode, we started a farming industry, and it's still growing on me. We went with the approach of crop circles and then half circles and whatnot. It's currently at level 2. We'll see how far we can push it in this episode and what we can make of it. But I'm not in love with it, so we'll have to do something to kind of complete it and make it stay. We also expanded Founders Village over here on this side. Looks like we have some zoning still left to do, and we'll lay down some pretty good road network for future expansion, which is going to be the goal in this episode, is to try and fill in as much of this over here as we can to blend in Founders Village, because yes, you guys mentioned it in the comments as well, it's a bit square and not sexy enough. So it actually looks like a thumb, and it sticks out like a sore thumb as well, if you consider this the top of the thumb right here. But we'll see what we can do. We have the budget to expand. We're sitting at about 213,000 in the bank. We've got a pretty good demand for residential, almost no demand for commercial, and some demand for industry, which we're gonna hopefully satisfy. Looks like we do have an issue over here in farming. In our industry. Our landfill has filled up, so let's get that to empty. Let's check on this one. This one's only at 1% left, so I'm gonna speed this up in hopes that we oh, there it is. It is empty. So I guess first order of business is going to be to add a couple of additional recycling centers and get rid of that landfill. So this should keep us afloat for the time being. We are also very close to the next milestone, which is Big Town. Big Town is pretty huge. We unlock high density. That is commercial, offices, as well as residential. So we're gonna get to play with some of that. We also get the university and the incinerator, garbage incinerator, which is pretty big deal. An additional power source, so the solar updraft tower, which I think that if we have the budget, we'll build somewhere in the farming area. And for now, that's about all that kind of strikes my attention. Now, let's zone some additional residential over here. I had a park here in the previous episode. I decided to get rid of it to try and get us over to the next milestone. So we'll add all of this right here, and I kind of left this area unfinished in the last episode. There's a few things that I'd like to do and add from a milestone Boomtown, and that is elder care and a child health center. We haven't really done anything with that, and I feel like it's a waste in a sense. If we take a look at it, it provides some pretty good benefits. So elder care increases the lifespan of the older population in our city, and the child health center offers health services to children and teens, creating a health benefit. Now, we don't necessarily have an issue with health in the city just yet, I guess I should say, but it's nice to have, and it provides a good boost to the area. So what I'll do is I'm gonna connect right in here like so, and then I'm thinking we can add a child health center here, or maybe here. I think here would look nice. And then over here we can add a elder care. So maybe right off the main strip should should work. And this also covers a big chunk right here, so it covers both of these sides. I'm almost thinking maybe it would have been better to put one up here, but for now I think we'll manage there since I already placed it. This covers almost both neighborhoods, so I'm not so sure that we need another one, but we'll see how things develop, I guess. And then let's take a look. So we're slacking on this side when it comes to leisure and playgrounds and parks. So I wonder if we are able to fit one of these. So we can't fit that, but we can fit that, and that looks nice. I like it. We're gonna keep it. Let's add a pathway over here to be able to cross from one side to another, and same over here. And I'm all right with that for the time being. Let's move on to this side. And we're going to grab this road with wide sidewalks and put it right about there. Then we'll add a little bit more commercial here and a couple of pathways to be able to cross. So that should do it for this right here. I think to kind of finish the area off, we could potentially add some trees. I want to see what that's going to look like actually. A little bit here, a little bit there, and that's a little bit of an overkill. But you know what? One thing that I keep wanting to do and I keep forgetting to do is add some of these boreal pines. Now that's one of the trees that's standard on this map, where we can find it on the map in general. So I'd like to incorporate some of this type of tree everywhere where we place some trees. That way we keep everything kind of pertaining to the map, if you will. I don't think it would necessarily make a whole lot of sense to completely switch the type of tree that's found in the whole map. So we'll add a little bit right there, and that kind of sort of finishes off this area right here. But I don't think that this park, yeah, it didn't necessarily satisfy this whole side right here. Oh, and would you look at that, our industry has leveled up to level 3. Very nice. You know, I'm gonna keep things simple, and I'm gonna add a couple of tourist parks on this side. We're most likely gonna change it, but my goal, what I'm trying to accomplish right here, is to get as many of these buildings to level up as we can to increase the population, because the higher the level of the building, the more households it has, which means that the more population we get. I'm noticing a couple of issues. Again, we're low on power and people are complaining about taxes, and we still have the not enough buyers issue here. So let's fix what we can. We'll fix power, and we'll hop into our taxes, and we'll lower residential down to 12, and that should get rid of that and hopefully fix the power issue here as well. And we might be a little bit low on water, is what I'm seeing here. It's good to always take a look around your map to see if there's something brewing in the background that you're not aware of. And yes, we are low on water, so I'm gonna add a water tower here in the farming area. I feel like it's an appropriate place to have water towers. So I added 2. It's for future proofing, and that should keep us going for quite a while. So now that we have a farming industry, I feel like it's appropriate to add some organic and local produce to our city. We don't have that yet. I'm thinking somewhere over here have a plot designated specifically to the organic and local produce. So I'm gonna build out a little bit over here, and we'll see what that ends up looking like. I almost feel like this is too many cuts into our railroad, but if it becomes an issue, we're gonna take away a connection or two. I feel like it'll be all right, but we'll see. Now, in order to put down local and organic produce, we do have to make a district for that. Alright, so now that we have that district in, let's designate this area to be organic and local produce. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to just zone big blocks, kind of like so. What I'd like to do is I'd like to incorporate some pathways to split up the blocks and hopefully get some different types of buildings, or a variety of buildings, if you will. Now, one thing that kind of comes to mind is to try and split things up kind of like so. Oh, and hey, would you look at that? We are a big town. So we already took a look at what we unlock in big town. So we do unlock high density residential, commercial, and offices, a bunch of new policies, a university, and the incineration plant as well. I'm gonna finish what I was doing, and then we'll take a look at some of these buildings that we can add to the city. Alright, so I'm thinking something like this. Now, I know it's not the most unique thing, but it does add a variety of buildings in different shapes and whatnot. But there's an additional thing that kind of could potentially work that I'm gonna try now that we've unlocked high density. Is I think we can incorporate some. What are they called? Let's take a look. It's a DLC, and it's called Brooklyn and Queens, and this pertains to high density residential buildings. So what we could do is we could add this as a district right here, and zone some organic and local produce commercial in addition to the Brooklyn and Queens DLC. So I'm gonna do that since we primarily have the demand for residential. I'm gonna toss a bunch of these in here, and then we'll come back and we'll do some commercial as well. All right, so I think that should work. I think the one thing that we are lacking though is parking lots. So I'll add a few of these in some places where we can fit them. And it doesn't look like it's going to be a lot of places. But I guess there is fine. We'll put one there, one over here. And ooh, there we go. One right there. That'll be too close. But I'm all right with this. I'm actually kind of excited to see what this ends up looking like. And then Aspen Heights, I don't hate the district. I think what we could do, since it's already a district after a name, I think we could name it after the most popular tree in the city, which is oak. So let's say Oak Heights for the district here. Welcome Oak Heights to Greenland. Please look nice. I really don't want to have to dezone and redo a bunch of things here. So we're gonna let this come in. This side right here has filled in completely, and we unlocked a few things. So let's hop on over here. Let's grab an incinerator. We'll toss that right there. That'll help with garbage production and hopefully help us empty this thing a little bit quicker. And then what else did I mention? Do we have enough money for a solar power plant? Oh, and the university, cannot forget that. Since we have all of our education kind of stationed over here, I think that we'll just go with a regular university. One of these wouldn't look too terrible. They're about the same size, and this one's not symmetrical. This one is. What I mean by symmetrical is when you put it in a 2x2 per se, it's one tile shorter or longer than I like. So we're gonna go with the regular university. And I'm thinking I want to place it on an angle here. So let's give that a shot. Something like that. Then we'll plop that down and all of that. I think we're almost low on high school capacity. So we'll need to take care of that. And there we go. So we have 2,500 people that are interested in going into university. Now there is one thing that I'm gonna do here for Founders Village. I'm gonna hop into policies and I'm gonna turn on the schools out policy. The reason I'm doing this is so the folks in Founders Village do not go to university, or most will not go to university, and they'll help us keep some of these lower level jobs in industry as well as farming, because they don't require highly educated citizens. So we'll do that there. And then as far as the high school goes, I'd like to add another one. I know we unlocked a high school, but I feel like this building is a little bit too tall almost for what we have going on over here. The high school is even taller than the university, so I think we're gonna skip that. There is an additional thing that I've been wanting to place ever since, and that would be this soccer field. This thing is absolutely beautiful. Whoever designed this, bravo to you, sir or madam. I love it. So I like it. We'll keep it. And then let's get back to the high school. So I'm thinking if we add another high school right here. We'll split the grounds with a pathway, and then you guessed it, we're gonna add a parking lot here. I changed my mind. Parking lot over here, and then I think, yes, we definitely can. We'll add a tennis court and a basketball court right here. I feel like that's a good fit in this area. And then I'm wondering if we should add some parking to our university. I feel like we should. I feel like we would have plenty of parking in university. I'm pretty proud of myself for this right here. I think it looks really nice, and it makes a huge difference that they added these sports fields to the game. So bravo to Cities Skylines for that, and again to those who designed these beautiful assets. I really like them. It totally improves the quality of the game. Now, we're done there. We were gonna look into potentially adding an additional power plant. Let's see how much this thing costs. We're already a little bit low on monies. So this solar updraft tower is gonna take more than half of our budget. So I think I'm gonna pass on this for now until we have a little bit more money in the bank. But what I am gonna use the money for is I'm gonna plot out a neighborhood here, and potentially a neighborhood here, and we'll take a look at different types of neighborhoods. So let's see, how should we do this? Alright, so I feel like I should pause right here and bring you guys into the loop of what I'm thinking. So in the previous episode, I mentioned that there's going to be a road coming down this way. Well, I kind of sort of need to make a decision on that right now. And I'm gonna put in a placeholder road for that. And we're gonna go at an angle right here. And what's really cool is these snap twos right here, this angle. We can go on a 45, and if we just kind of angle it to that side, it'll give us a 45-degree angle. And let's see, this is kind of where that's gonna end up, and I don't hate it. So we'll stick with that right there. And then I'm gonna extend it all the way down if it'll have me. I don't think it will. Oh, come on. There we go. That actually worked. All I had to do was back up a little. So we'll connect all the way into here, and we'll have to upgrade that road. Now I will also turn off the traffic lights there. I turned them off everywhere. So we'll turn them off right there, and I guess this is kind of where our farming is gonna end. So now we know that we can't expand past this area right here, but this is gonna be an additional freehand neighborhood. So I'm gonna finish that up. That way we don't have to jump into build time lapses too many times in the episode. But I am using this European 2-lane stone bridge road, which kind of kind of looks nice. I like it. Alright, so that was not as fun as it looked. So we've got the neighborhoods built out, and I mentioned we're gonna take a look at some different zoned residential, low density residential. So I'm gonna make some districts as well, and let's start with this one right here. Alright, so here in 𝒂𝒕 district, what we're going to have is the regular self-sufficient buildings. They consume 30% less electricity, they produce 30% less garbage, but they also generate 30% less tax income. Now, what's nice about these is the electricity consumption. It's definitely 30% less, so I'm gonna apply that type of zoning right there. Now we're gonna jump into Ivy Square here because it's a little bit of a bigger district than Summit Heights. So we'll hop into here and we're gonna grab the European Suburbia district. Now these homes are probably, or this type of home is probably my most favorite in the whole game. And you guys will see what they end up looking like. And then here for Summit Heights, I was looking at the mid-century modern homes. So we're gonna place those in here. They also looks like have some Heart of Korea low density homes that I have not experienced yet. So Let's try that, because I've seen the mid-century modern. I haven't seen the Heart of Korea low density, and it says that it does apply to low density homes as well. So we'll check those out, and I think that pretty much covers all of the lower density. Now University City, they have low density homes as well, but they just look like rundown buildings, and that's just not the look that I'm going for here in Greenwood. So we're gonna pass on that, and then let's hop in over here. And I'm thinking that I overshot 𝒂𝒕 district a little bit. I'm gonna cut it back some, and I'm gonna reclaim it for Oak Heights. I'm gonna do the same thing here that we did right here, and it's turning out to look really nice and really realistic. And I think that with a different color correction, it looks even nicer. That's the cold color correction, and it actually pops. It looks very realistic. So I'm gonna keep it on that color correction for the time being. The beach, although doesn't look all that great on cold. It looks cold, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it and see what we decide once we get to build on a beach. Now I'm noticing some of these commercial places as well. They're complaining about taxes, so I'm gonna be equal, or treat everyone equal. I'm gonna make everyone's tax a 12%, so that should hopefully get rid of that. And we've got some zoning to do. So over here, I wasn't going to connect to this, but then it doesn't flow well if I don't, because we have these nice looking squares everywhere else. So I'm gonna connect it, and then we'll add some additional pathways here. All right, so we're gonna run with that and see what comes of it. I wonder what's here that's not zoning. Oh, we missed a square. There we go. Is everything else looking good? I think it is. Some of the commercial is a little bit slow to come in since we don't have the demand, but it is what it is at this point. So let's zone. We'll zone the rest of this right here with this this high density, and I think that should be all right for now. Now the rest of this stuff is all going to be commercial. All right, so that should be good. And there are a few buildings that I haven't really had a chance to mess with too much. That's going to be the Sidewalk Restaurant and the Sidewalk Cafe. Wow, that one has, they both have 150 entertainment value. So I'm thinking maybe the Sidewalk Cafe right there, and then we plop the Sidewalk Restaurant somewhere here. Now the nice thing about, actually I think they both have a connection. Yeah, so we can easily do that right there. But this one here, this one has a couple of connections, I believe. Yeah, so we can even connect there and there. So I'm thinking that we grab this opportunity and we run a pathway right through there, and potentially even one like so, and then one from this side to here. And then we won't really zone anything here. What I'll do is I'll add some additional leisure things, such as a tourist park. And what else do we have here that would kind of fit the area? Should we add? No, we're not gonna add chirper balloon tours. How about a dog park? Let's do that. Everybody loves a dog park. And then tropical garden. Ooh, a little too big to fit. But I wonder. We'll add another tourist park, and I was hoping I would get, and we did. We got 2 different tourist parks. This one actually has 3 different variants of the building as well. So we got 2 different ones, so it's not like we're replacing the same thing over and over again. So that looks just fine to me. And then we will add some trees right about in there. And that'll tell me not to zone in there for the time being. Now, since we do have that residential demand, what I'll do is I'll zone this whole thing right here, and I'll clean up the district right after I am done. And that's about as crispy as these are gonna get. Ooh, see? No bueno there. And I didn't even catch it in time. So we get rid of a couple of buildings there. No big deal. But we have Garnet District. Now please help me out with some of these names. I'm not very creative. I named a district here after a tree. So if you have a If you have some better names for these, I would love to hear them. So Ivy Square, Summit Heights, and Garnet District. Shoot some names at me, and let's see if we can come up with something that's better. And you see right here, kind of missed that little block, and that building already came in looking all high and mighty, which is what we're trying to avoid here. So pretty happy with that. I'm gonna zone some commercial over here and provide some city services, because we cannot forget that. And let's go to about there, and we'll make this one a little bit shorter on this side. And I don't think we'll zone anything back here. We'll see. But let's provide some city services. So we're actually in a very good spot when it comes to monies. Let me take a look at the fire department. So not a whole lot of coverage over here. I wonder if it would be a good deed if we were to do something like that. And it would. That covers this whole area right here. I don't want to spend a whole lot more money. So for the other two major services, we'll just add a clinic kind of on the corner right here. Then we'll grab a police station and we'll put that right there. That should be all right for now. Then on this side, we'll add some commercial as well. But no city services over here. I feel like we took care of that here. Just A-okay. And we've got a dead body. Let's see what's going on here. Let's take a look and see if our cemetery is operating. Yeah, so it's operating in full use. 10 out of 10 hearses in use. Why don't we select this area here? We'll grab a little side road like so. And we'll add an additional cemetery here just because we need it, and we don't have a crematorium unlocked just yet. So I'll do that right there, and a little bit of parking. Never hurts. Alright, so that takes care of that, and you can tell already that our sore thumb over here is starting to blend in. Now once we unlock these tiles over here, we'll add some additional residential areas on this side, and it'll get to looking sexy in no time. I suspect probably about 3 or 4 episodes from now, this will blend in very, very nicely. Now I'd like to shift our focus a little bit to farming right after we get rid of that landfill there, and add some industry. Now over here in our farming, I believe we got to the next milestone. Let's take a look-see, because we do need to add some jobs. So we've got, yeah, we unlocked the milking parlor and whatnot. Now I've had a slight change of heart here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna move all of these polluter buildings, and we're gonna place them over here on this side. And I'm gonna free this area up for something else, whatever that is. But I feel like it's a little too far, and I feel like we shouldn't cross the railroad track up this way just to get to these buildings. But for now, until we level up, we are going to place these 2 buildings right here. Let's make sure that we have water there, and we do, and we'll be all right. Let's see how far we are from the next and we're actually right about to hit it. So I'm gonna speed up, and we'll get there in no time. Now, in the meantime, while we're waiting for that, I will zone some of these what is it, Korean or Chinese residential buildings. And it's Korean, not Chinese. And what is this? This can't be low density, can it? There's our industry. I'm very curious about this. It does say low density residential building. I don't necessarily like that. So we're gonna switch this district. If they're all gonna come in looking like that, then we're not doing this. We're gonna do the modern or mid-century modern right here, and then we'll stick with European on this side. Yeah, I didn't want small apartment buildings here. What we could do is we could put some smaller apartment buildings along the lake here in the near future, but for now we're gonna stick with much lower density on the outskirts right here. So let's take a look over here. We did get to level 4, and I believe that unlocks the largest building. Yep, the slaughterhouse. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play around with this a little bit and see how to put this layout together to where it works better for us, for the city, let's say. But before I do that, I'm gonna create yet another district over here, and we're gonna incorporate some regular zonable farming in this area as well. And I'm thinking, I mentioned this to one of you guys in the response to a comment on the previous episode. I want to zone some here and see what that's gonna look like. And if it looks good, we'll keep it. If not, then we'll get rid of it. And it's coming in already, and I don't hate it. I actually quite like it. I think it looks nice. We'll let all of them zone in, and then we'll make a decision. But over here, let me see what we can put together. That's quite simple. All right, so it looks like the terrain over here is a little bit uneven. It kind of dips right here. We're going to be placing very large buildings, so in order to prevent the shift in terrain while we place the building down, I'm going to flatten it out a little bit first, and then we will continue on with the original plan. And let's say I'm gonna select this height right here. It seems to be pretty flat there. Alright, so you're probably thinking, what in the world is going on here? So let me explain right after we put down an additional sewage building. Alright, so let's come back over here and let me explain. And look at this, we are now a small city. So a small city is a milestone that I've been waiting for, and it's actually just in time because it's got a lot to do with what I just did in the farming industry. So we unlocked the train. That's huge because we're going to use it right away. We've got monorail and cable cars. We got a few new policies, several new roads, and then we get the train station, the cargo train terminal, and some other buildings that just aren't as important as the cargo train terminal, which is what I've been waiting for. So I've kind of compacted everything over here. I connected our crop circles, so now it looks like a either a ladybug or a chunky snowman. But over here, we're gonna put a cargo train terminal. So we're gonna put it somewhere right about here, and I'm gonna hook it up right away because alright, so here's the idea behind this. The farming industry is level 4. It's producing a lot of goods, which was kind of clogging up our streets with trucks and whatnot. So a cargo train terminal only makes sense here. Now we're only gonna expand, so we're not gonna decrease the amount of farming industry that we have. So it's only going to get busier. So a cargo train terminal is most definitely something that is needed here. And I'm going to upgrade this to a one-way. I'm not 100% sure if this is the right decision to make at this time or not, but we'll do it and hope for the best. And I left this little gap right here because I noticed that we did not put in any of the farm workers barracks, so those are going to fit very nicely here. And we've got the budget, which is why I'm not being conservative even a little bit. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those we added. And another thing that we forgot is the farm maintenance building, which we're missing out on a pretty good 5% boost with just this one building as well. And looks like that will fit. I don't love it right there. Let's try to see if we can put it. Oh man, I was hoping that it would fit right in there. How about here? All right, so that works a little bit better for me. Now, you guys remember that I told you that there it is, case in point right there. Garbage has piled up at our main farm building yet again. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our very own recycling center here in the farming industry to try and combat this this unusually high garbage production from that one building. Now, here's kind of the downside to having a cargo train terminal over here. Everybody and their mother that ships anything is now gonna flock over here to use this cargo train terminal. Also, everything imported into the city is going to come through this cargo train terminal and travel all the way to either industry or commercial, and deliver the goods and then head on back. So to fix that problem that we just created, what we'll have to do is we'll have to create an additional cargo train terminal somewhere over here. But that time is not now. We are running out of time in this episode. I feel like it's going to be a little bit too long as it sits. So we've come very far in this episode. I'm pretty content with the progress. Next milestone's 18,000, so we've got quite a ways to get there. But this is where we're gonna stop. So we've got 2 different residential neighborhoods. We've got a 3rd one that we're gonna zone. Actually, I'm gonna zone that right now because why not? We've got the demand, so why not? But while I'm zoning this, I'd like to thank you guys for the comments and the welcome back messages and all. I missed it. I'm happy to be back, so we'll keep this going, hopefully as long as we can. But I plan on stopping once Cities Skylines 2 comes out, so we can hop on that and see what that's all about. But for now we'll build this thing out. I mean, we've got 25 tiles to play with and expand, and I'm sure that we're gonna build something great and memorable. But I'm gonna leave you with that. So, as always, be the best that you can be in everything that you do. And I will see you guys on the next one.